It's time for episode number 77 of Get Real with Rajiv. And in this week's episode, I'm going to be answering 4 questions. I'm going to be talking about how you as a freelancer need to balance the business side with the passion side. I'm also going to be answering a question around what do you do in a situation where you figure out that your business partner is stealing from you. The third question that I'm going to be answering is if you're a 21-year-old who's just completed your graduation education, but you want to pursue a career which has nothing to do with your academic background, how do you deal with that situation, especially with your parents? And the fourth question that I'm going to be answering today is around how do you handle a situation where you've set a goal for yourself, but you did not achieve it within the timeline and you're feeling anxious about it. If you'd like answers to these questions, then tune into episode number 77 of Get Real with Rajiv. Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 77 of Get Real with Rajiv. Like every single week, I'm going to be answering your 4 questions. Today, Tithi is going to be the voice of your questions. And I have a special guest with me, Simba, because his mama's out of town and I'm babysitting him again. So, Tithi, what's the first question?
Aditya Thakekar says, I work as a freelancer. Building a team and having various spokes in the wheel for business is what I learned from your Kick and Hug Mastery module. But my core love is solving technical problems by coding and designing. How should I take this ahead to make sure I'm not in a trap of self-employment and also do what I love?
Well, Aditya, thank you firstly for that wonderful question, and just for the reference of people who've not been a part of my Kick and Hug Mastery program. Fundamentally, what Aditya is talking about is this, that in any business, there are 7 activities: marketing, sales, operations, R&D, accounts, human resources, and management. And what happens with most entrepreneurs, not just freelancers, but with most entrepreneurs, is that they just get stuck in operations because delivering the product or delivering the service to the customer is something that they prioritize for multiple reasons. The reasons could be because they love doing it, like what Aditya mentioned, that it's his passion, or the reason could be that they're scared of delegating to their team members because they feel the team member cannot do the job as well as the business owner can do it. So that's what Aditya was referring about when he spoke about the spokes in the wheel. Now, Aditya, coming to answer your question, I appreciate that you're passionate about coding and designing, but let me ask you a question. Do you want to be a coder and a designer, or do you want to be an entrepreneur? Because that question is a very important question for you to answer. Now, I know you may give me a smart answer, which may say, I want to be an entrepreneur in coding and designing. Well, if you want to be an entrepreneur in coding and designing, then please focus on the entrepreneurship elements first, which is to build a team, which is to build the systems so that marketing, sales, operations, R&D, all these activities can happen consistently. And then once you build the team and the systems, then the day-to-day activities of the business will not be dependent on you. And when the day-to-day activities of the business are not dependent on you, then you're free to do what you're passionate about, which is coding and designing. But let's just say you take the other route, where you decide not to build a team, you decide not to build systems, you decide not to focus on the business aspects or the entrepreneurship aspects of marketing, sales. Then what ends up happening is you stay a freelancer who's always waiting for the next project to come to him or her. You will have inconsistent income cycles, and through the process you will undervalue yourself and take up projects out of desperation at a low cost, and you will not even enjoy the process of coding and designing which you're passionate about. Remember this, Aditya, only passion means it's a hobby, not a business. And only making a difference to clients means it's a charity, not a business. Business is an integration of 3 elements. Passion, which means you got to love what you do, which you already do. Purpose, which is you need to add value to people. And profit, which means you need to make money. So if you want to be an entrepreneur in whatever business you are doing, for the rest of you who are watching, fix the entrepreneurship side of things first, and then you practice your passion for the rest of your life. Nobody's going to stop you from that. But if you don't understand what I just said, you will remain where you are, you will firefight, you will struggle, you will undervalue yourself, and very soon your passion will become poison for you and you won't enjoy the process. I hope that makes sense to you, Adit. With that, let's go to the second question for the week. So, Tithi, what's the second question?
Sandhya says, I recently found out that my business partner has been stealing from the company. I need the money to sustain the business. If I let him go, I think he will abscond. How do I handle this in a manner where I get the money back from him and he is punished?
Well, Sandhya, before I kind of break this down into steps, what I want to focus on is your mindset and your emotions at this point of time, now that you've figured out that your business partner has been stealing from the business. Firstly, my request, Sandhya, please don't be weak about it, neither get upset and emotional about it. Okay, I have seen a lot of people encounter this situation where they become very weak and they become more timid. They feel like, how can I confront? It's so awkward. What will that person think? Well, in all honesty, you have no reason to think about what they will think. They should be the one who should be thinking, what will you think when you figure out that they've been stealing from the business? So don't be timid during these times. Second, don't be emotional. Don't act like your heart has been broken and go into an entire emotional drama. Please thank your stars. Thank your stars that you figured out the true character of that person and you don't have to take the journey for the rest of your life with a person like this. Sometimes we look at these challenges and we feel our world has come crashing down. It's actually the best thing that can happen to you, Sandhya. It's only the universe's way of showing you that your energy frequency is way higher than the energy frequency of that other person, because that person operates at a low energy frequency that makes them engage in activities like stealing from their own business. So thank your stars that the universe is eliminating a person with a lower energy frequency from your consciousness by bringing this to your awareness. Now, what are your options? How do you get the money out? How do you make sure that this person does not abscond? Firstly, please consult a lawyer and figure out what your legal options are. Are you able to gather any evidence that is usable in the court of law, okay, against your business partner? So please consult a lawyer. Please also approach your local police station with your lawyer to understand what kind of police action can be taken in this process, because stealth is a criminal offense, it's not a civil offense. So please frame the criminal charges in the right manner, taking the support of a proper legal expert. That's the first step that you need to do. The second step you need to do is this. You need to have a direct one-to-one conversation of confrontation with your business partner. No mincing of words, no trying to be too sweet, neither losing your emotional cool and letting the emotions get a better of you. Be assertive, but be angry in a manner where you are controlling the anger and the anger is not controlling you. And give them a simple option. Either they settle what they stole and they leave respectfully, or they face the law. And make sure that you have your options covered in a manner where they cannot abscond. For that, the legal counsel and the police department should be of help to you. But mainly as an entrepreneur, I would say confront the issue head on. Don't walk into office every day thinking over the next 3 months I will recover the money from this person. All of that is not going to happen. Every single day you see that person in your presence will only kill you more and more. Take it head on and get done with the issue and let go of this person and thank your stars. I hope that makes sense, Sandhya. There's no way you can be timid during this time. With that, let's go to the third question for the week. So Tithi, what's the third question?
We have a question from Prashant. I have spent a good 6 months during the lockdown trying to perfect the idea for an app, but I am nowhere close to achieving the end output. The deadline I had given myself has passed and it makes me very anxious. What do I need to do to make sure I keep my sanity and also roll out the app soon?
Awesome. Thank you, Prashant, for asking this question, because I know the answer to this question is going to help a lot of people who are beating themselves up for missing timelines and in fact are losing more creative energy by actually being tough on themselves unnecessarily. Let me tell you why I said unnecessarily, Prashant. I really want you to understand this. When you're creating something for the first time, when you're building something for the first time, the timeline you give yourself to do it actually has no logic. It has no base. It has no rationale. You're doing it for the first time, so you don't know what will unfold in the process, how new ideas may emerge, how new modifications may arise. So whatever timeline you gave yourself at the beginning of this process actually has no rationale. And I want you to understand how your brain is playing a game with you to emotionally pull you down. when you're creating something, you got to give yourself that creative space. Hey, it's nice to give yourself timeline saying in the next 6 months I'll have my product ready. But as long as you've taken action in those 6 months and you've realized that there was things that you did not see at the beginning of the process, which you are seeing as you're taking action, which will take you more time, then you need to be kind to yourself. But the brain does not understand that. The brain likes to keep you in your comfort zone. And most people have this self-talk with themselves saying that you're not good enough, you're not enough. And the brain likes to feed that thought with more evidence. So your brain is actually playing a game with you right now saying, see, here we go again. You said you'll do it in 6 months, but you haven't done it. You suck. Tell your brain to shut up. Ask your brain to just shut up and pat yourself on the back for whatever progress you've created in the last 6 months. So Prashant, I hope you understand that this is a game of managing your own emotions and your energy, because that's what you need on your side if you want to create something which is powerful. But if you're falling into the trap of anxiousness, you're falling into the trap of self-doubt, oh, I told myself something but I'm not living up to it, please be kinder to yourself. Those are conversations that corporate managers have with their team members to lower their self-esteem so they can negotiate a better salary. You don't have those conversations with yourself to lower your self-esteem. Please understand that entrepreneurship is a creation process, and as long as you have taken action, you have been productive, and you have had failures and understandings that tells you that it is going to take more time, that's a victory, my friend. So please be kinder to yourself. With that, let's go to the fourth and final question for this week. So Tithi, what's the fourth question?
Anarchic Smitty has a question. My parents have controlled the better part of my life until now. I am 21 now and have just graduated. I wanted to tell them that I do not want to pursue a career in the stream of education I've been in and do something more creative. It scares the shit out of me. How do you think I should handle this?
Well, Anarchic Smitty and all those students who are just graduated and now want to pursue a career that has nothing to do with what your academic background is, let me tell you something. You need to just speak your truth. What do I mean by speak your truth? You need to tell your parents what do you feel, what do you want to pursue, and just say it as it is. There's no script, there's no plan, there's no moment where the night will be bright, the stars will be shining, and the angels from the heavens will descend and tell you now is the right time, your parents are in a good mood, go talk to them. Just speak your truth. And speak your truth without blame. You know, I've seen a lot of young people, what they do is when they want to shift their career or they want to explore a career in a direction which has nothing to do with their academic qualification, they don't have that conversation with their parents with maturity. They do that as a fit. They go and blame their parents saying, because of you I studied commerce, or because of you I did engineering, and now I'm realizing this is not what I want to do. Don't blame them. They also gave you the guidance that was the best guidance according to them, based on what they knew, okay, if you took their help. And if you pursued it on your own decision, then neither should you blame yourself saying, no, how can I go back and tell them now I don't want to do this. Just speak your truth without any blame, with a lot of compassion towards them and a lot of compassion towards yourself. Please know you're 21, you're too young to even worry about anything in life. And actually think about it and give them this rationale as well, that most people are doing things as careers and businesses which have nothing to do with their educational qualification or academic background. They can look around in their own circle and probably they themselves would be an example of this. So let them know that whatever academic qualification you've had, just because you're changing your career, that does not mean this goes down the drain and this is a waste. I mean, just pursuing things for the sake of pursuing it makes no sense. So give them that rationale. Another advice that I can give you is watch the movie Three Idiots with them and ask them to relate you to the character of Farhan, which was R. Madhavan's character, and tell them you feel the same way. And tell them to be the good parent and not the ignorant, stuck-up one. Okay, so watch Three Idiots with them and have this conversation after that. It may help. Lastly, and most importantly, it's in your head. The fear is in your head. You're building this as a mountain. There's a tragic movie that is playing in your head right now where you're imagining a situation where you will go and have a conversation and they'll throw a fit of anger at you and they'll tell you how useless you are. It's all in your head. In most cases, I have seen when people think that this is a big conversation and they actually go have it, the kind of response they get is the exact opposite. It's like your parents don't be surprised if your parents look at you and say, that's it, why are you taking so much tension? Just do what you want to do. So please have that conversation. And let's just say you have the conversation and it does not work as per what you desire it to work as. Let's just say they get angry, they blame you, they get aggressive with you. Just smile, because that's the best approach that they have to show care and concern for you. That anger is not anger to control you. That anger is coming out of fear and care, saying, why is my child being fickle-minded? Why do they want to suddenly change? Our parents don't know how to express. They don't know how to express, but underlying their intention is for the best of you. So don't judge their approach, don't judge their communication style, don't expect them to understand like how your friends understand you, and don't react to that approach and that communication. So if they fight, don't become a rebel, neither start hating them. In fact, be the parent in the situation to your parents and smile at them and say, look, I understand you care for me, I understand you want the best for me, and I want you to back me up. I'm going to do this any which way. So do what you want to do any which ways and tell them, please give me your blessings. That's it. Don't submit and surrender. Walk your own path, and every time they get angry, smile back at them. Nothing irritates a person who's upset more than a person who is not getting upset because they are upset. Nothing irritates that person more. So smile and diffuse their emotions. I've given you a whole list of things to do. I hope that makes sense to you. With that, we come to the end of episode number 77 of Get Real with Rajiv. Simba is sleepy. It's time you also go to bed if you're watching this late in the night. And before you go to bed, make sure you share this video if you think you found value in it, and ask more questions in the comment section below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Get Real with Rajiv.